this virus or a virus similar to this in the future that can be lab created or man-made?
It's definitely possible. At this point, we engineer viruses. I mean, I engineer phage viruses that infect bacteria, but we engineer them in our laboratory frequently. Typically, we're engineering one gene at a time. Alter the behavior of life. That's the power of the synthetic revolution, so it is possible.
Now, what would be the possibility of, let's say, this COVID-19 being lab created?
So people have looked into that. We don't see any evidence that it has the kinds of genetic scars or signatures that suggest that it's been lab created. And we know that there are a lot of coronaviruses that are naturally occurring in bats and other organisms. So chickens get coronaviruses. Even a remote version of coronavirus causes some common cold. So the parsimonious explanation at this point is that this happened to just show, and it happened to be able to affect humans.
And do you see that our social distancing and isolation, is this probably one of the main factors of it not spreading so widely, let's say, in the Bay Area, since we started a little bit earlier?
Yeah, I think we made the right choices. The mayor and ultimately the governor took effective leadership. I know it feels scarier to have our lives sort of disrupted, but we are safer and had slower spreading because we made choices. Obviously, it's not good for the economy, but it does affect our lives. What's going to happen is, as we all go home, it will slowly spread. But then eventually, in a home, either one person is infected and they infect the others, but then it's healed up and they're protected, or you'll have a home where nobody's infected and they just stay that way. And so eventually, when you let everyone back out again, there's a lot less active cases. But the problem is that it's not going to entirely go away. So what will happen is we'll let everyone go back to work, and then the cases start up again. And so we may need to see waves of social distancing measures, shelter in place, that happen repeatedly on multiple month cycles until we end up with a better.
Yeah, and what would be some of your advice? Because I know you also, time is of the essence. Some of the advice that our viewers have, and that will be viewing this afterwards as well, to take it, because I know the Surgeon General today said that there's a possibility of seeing the next Pearl Harbor taking place in the next week or two. I wanted to take your take on that. What is the possibility of a sudden spike in cases and deaths taking place, especially here in the U.S. in the next week or two? How accurate is that? And is this basically like a wave that New York is seeing it, and then right now we're probably 2 weeks behind New York? I mean, the U.S. is very vast. Probably the distance between Italy and Wuhan is between New York and San Francisco, and it took some time for it to get there. Are we safe, or is it a cycle that's going to be coming towards the West Coast as well? And how bad can it get in the next week or two?
So, unfortunately, the answer is yes. It's going to get quite bad. You can track the growth rate of new cases, and that's a difficult thing to avoid fixing in the short term, because even if you apply social distancing measures, the people who are about to get sick are infected.
It looks like we lost you there again. Yeah.
All right, am I back? You guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
You're good.
I don't want to leave on that because that's a tough. The answer is yes. About 10 days, we're going to have a huge across the United States, and it could 100,000, 200,000 deaths by the end of April of Americans, and that's not counting the rest of the world. We are going into a huge growth of the disease. Areas where it doesn't apply to distancing measures, like California, are going to be relatively protected. It's not inevitable that this happens. You can see in India, they've applied very vigorous social distancing measures, and they've benefited from slowing down the virus. But we're also going to see this happening in Europe, the Middle East, and in areas in Asia. We're in the acceleration phase right now. So April is going to be tough. In terms of the wave, it does depend a little bit on how much outbreak there is on locations. Typically, the reason it peaks is not that it's actually infected anyone in that area. It peaks because that area goes into panic mode and everybody gets sent home, and that dampens the outbreak. But it doesn't solve it. So China is going to have a similar problem where they're going to be trying to send everyone back to work, and as that's there's going to be a repeat of the. And so being able to manage that and try to slow down the outbreak as much as possible at April and try to manage the path of April. We need tracking the active cases more carefully and maintaining as much of the social distancing level while also dealing with the reality that people need to work in many areas of the world. And so finding a balance there, which is really what we're doing is we're buying time until better medicine.
Now, hopefully we could probably just close on this as well. Now, you're a person who's dedicated your life to finding antibodies, vaccines, studied viruses in the past. I mean, is this going to become the norm for us? Let's say next season and the following season, and each virus is going to have its unique hallmark. It'll take some time for us to figure out vaccines and antibodies to fight it. Should we somewhat, maybe not to this degree, but a certain degree, expect this to become the norm of our lives?
No. And this I feel confident in. I know we're in a tough moment here, but we should not have to put up with this anymore. We have technologies now we could invest in, develop to eliminate any of the pathogens that we have to put up with and create effective technology. The next time there's an outbreak like this, we can treat it before it breaks out and becomes a pandemic. When I think of one of the obvious outcomes of the biotechnology revolution that we're living in right now, it's that our children should look back and see many of the diseases that we put up with is something that's arcane and of the past. And I look for a future of humanity that is largely pathogen-free, and that is acceptable within our lifetimes. And hoping one of the positive things that come out of coronavirus is that it offers us a globe that isn't cool anymore, and that we need to find permanent solutions to protect ourselves and our children and our children's children from this kind of constant nuisance. The more that we can eliminate pathogens from our daily lives, the more we can use our resources and our time and minds towards creativity and build better things. And these are some of the greatest things about humanity, and so they're worth the best. I am very comfortable that we will solve this problem and we will think about ways your problems increasingly eradicate.
As the Muslim saying goes, inshallah, God willing. You have probably almost everybody's prayer in the world behind you for the work you're doing. You're truly doing prophetic work, in my opinion, saving lives. There's a verse in the Holy Quran that says if you save the life of one person, is as if you have saved the life of entire humanity. And you're actually saving the life of, trying to save the life of the entire humanity. And I truly appreciate that. I commend that. I thank you for your hard work. I hope you get some additional time to spend with your beautiful daughter. And I know your family needs you as well. I truly appreciate every single moment that your team, and I know there's many people behind the scenes, and please thank them from me and from us, from our viewers. God bless you. God bless your wisdom. God bless your mind. God bless your hand. And God bless you.